What's going on, everybody? Anthony Campbell here, your coach and host of the Be Battle Ready podcast. And today's topic is, the game doesn't change. The only thing that changes is you. So let's lock and load and dive into today's daily battle. All right, guys. So recently I started playing about 3 weeks ago, touch rugby. It's taken, I've played touch 7s and 15s rugby. I played a little bit of league rugby too. So if you don't know what that is, what rugby is a game similar to American football where you take a ball and you try to put it into the score. Just like in football, you score a touchdown. That actually originated from rugby, because when you score in rugby, you have to score. To score, you have to put the ball, touch the ball down in the end zone or past the try zone. So that's why in American football, you run into the you score a touchdown by running into the end zone. And you know, a lot of similarities, a lot of differences, but basic summary, American football originated from rugby. The game that I'm currently playing, the version of rugby I'm playing right now, is it's a 6-on-6 touch rugby. So instead of tackling like in football, or it's just like touch football or flag football. If you get touched, you're down, you have to transfer the ball. But the point being is that it's been 12 years since I've consistently played rugby. It's been 12 years since I've sprinted like that. I've stayed fit. I've done other things. And, you know, I've done, you know, I stopped rugby at that time because I started running my gym. And, you know, I was running the gym, running classes during rugby time. But at the time when I finished, I was in great shape. I was playing rugby, you know, 3 nights a week and probably doing 3 to 4 days of CrossFit. Great combo. And I was actually like my first go at paleo. So, I dropped a lot of weight that season, but, I was in great shape, but, you know, and I continued to work out. And then 2012, I took my CrossFit, game to a new level, working with the coach, training about an hour and a half a day, combination of CrossFit style workouts, you know, cardio conditioning workouts and weight training, mix of it. Did that for about 3 years. And then about 2015, I just backed out of it. Still started doing it, still working out, but nothing really structured. And then 2016, I took a job and left, and my workouts completely changed. So fast forward to today, I've continued to work out. I haven't done CrossFit. I've done more bodybuilding and gym style of workouts, and my body's changed. I've gotten older. You know, I'll be 39 next week, or within about a week, and things have changed. Last year, injuries, right? I actually got a hernia last year, and that has caused this reoccurring back problem. So I tell you that because give you kind of context to where we're at. But the thing is that it's a lot harder and a lot more challenging to get up to speed. The first week I was great. Second week, you know, a second game week, you know, I got adjusted that day. The week prior, I got adjusted too, but my groin started tightening up. So I came out halfway through the game, kind of tried to work through it, and then got back into it. And then, you know, a couple days passed and everything was good. And then you know, this last Thursday, I hit a hole, like sprinted really hard and kind of like strained my hamstring. And ever since then, and honestly, I did go work out and do some legs and just try to work through it. And hamstring's okay, but now my back's tightening up. I went to the chiropractor today, stretched out, like did 45 minutes of yoga last night, 45 minutes before here. And honestly, like my wife is making fun of me because you're just getting old. And it sucks that might be the case. But the thing is that the principle here is that I have changed, right? The the game hasn't changed, but I have changed. And I cannot approach the game the same way that I did in the past. I can't approach my physical activity like I did starting, growing, all the way through my 20s and into my early 30s. When I was training an hour and a half a day for about 3 years straight, I'd roll in, just kind of move around, and then just get into my workout. And maybe that's caused this today, but, even warming up and all that stuff. And, in all honesty, like this rugby thing came on like real quick. I hadn't had time to train for it. And the type of fitness that it needs is different. So the thing is that my fitness has changed. My life has changed. My day-to-day routine has changed. I sit more, do all those things versus when I was working at the gym and I was up working around, demoing squats, demoing movements, and all those different things. And, the reason why I share this with you is because inside of this is that we approach, I've done this. I thought that the game, everything, the game that we play, if it's, in our physical body, if it's in our relationships, if it's in our business, I did this a lot in my relationship, my everything. I just didn't recognize that my conditions have changed. My life has changed, and I cannot use the same approach that I had done in the past, right? The things, principles stay the same, but, eventually you change, right? I changed, the rugby game changed. And, when my life changed, business, when I was approaching business, my life changed. I got kids, I moved to a different state, all these different things, right? And I needed, the requirements of organization and planning and discipline had to change. Like I had to change, right? It required certain level where before I had the liberty, just like in my physical fitness, I had the liberty to just warm up and get into it and go. Before in business, I had a team. I had like a lot of time. We had a lot of, CrossFit had a lot of brand awareness. Like there's a lot of things that were there. At the time I was running 2 businesses, so I didn't have to worry about things. And my office manager helped me manage 2-3 businesses, all that different stuff. So things changed. But when it came down to this business and it came down to now, I had to level up. I had to change, right? So there's times in our life where, we eventually, we need to adapt to the conditions. We need to adapt to the game that's thing. The requirements have always been the same. But the conditions in ourselves we get older, everything needs to change. So my question for you today is like, where in your life and where, across like in your physical body, in your, mindset, the beliefs that you have, how you see yourself, how you see the world, the discipline that you have in yourself, the structure that you have in your life, the planning, that you do, like where are you still not changing and it's not working? And what can you do to make it the course correction and change and make that change? Just pick one area, pick one little battle to win and go from there. So, I love to hear from you. I appreciate you. And this is going to wrap up another episode of The Daily Battle, and I'll talk to you soon.